can sell equity, or they can use debt. And what this company has decided to do is take the success that they've had in the balance sheet that they've amassed over the years and pick a segment of the market in which they are specialized and knowledgeable in trading and back that with artificial intelligence. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know that artificial intelligence is profoundly changing the entire world. And in that world, as financial assets, trading assets, and how you make money. Our traders have a combined experience of over 30 years, and we have 2 proprietary AI programs that supports them in their efforts. And the company has invested in notables, if you want to look up some of them, in the renewable energy and oil and gas space. What would come with renewable would be lithium, which is used to make batteries. Companies like Adana Green Energy, Ionix is also doing well in the space, as well as Reliance Industries Limited. These are giants in the space. If you look at the lithium category, Lithium America is doing well. Sigma Lithium is doing well. We have an account with Interactive Brokers and with Fidelity Investments. So when you decide you want to grow your company, you look at your assets and say, what's the best way for us to take this company to the next level? And the opportunity comes for those of us that want to participate in making deposits with this company, which is similar to putting money in a certificate of deposit. Now, certificate of deposit, of course, your money is locked up in the bank for a period of time. What we decided to do is give you great flexibility in choice. So with the majority of our accounts, starting with as little as $25, you can receive a yield on a daily basis on the trading that we're doing. We can afford to pay you that. So they are technically borrowing money from you. You're depositing it in an account in your name, and they're giving you a return on that investment so they can grow this company and take it to the next level. So if you look at how you build the company, if you look at big companies like Wells Fargo and Bank of America, they spend huge hundreds of millions of dollars on advertising, print, television, radio, internet. What we've decided to do is rather than do that and go consumer direct, for those that want to go beyond just putting a deposit with us and getting a return on that investment, we're going to offer you an opportunity to build out an organization. As an affiliate, you can build a team and you can get compensated just like the sales manager at a mortgage company, an insurance company, a car dealership. All of those people are compensated on the success of the group that they build and train. So we want to encourage you to build a group, if that's what you'd like to do, and train that group and help them become successful. And if you know on Wall Street, there's a joke that retail investors, which would be the individual that buys stocks, they call it dumb money. And if you followed the story of GameStop and Reddit and Roaring Kitty, he built a network of people that liked him, believed and followed him, and they moved the market in GameStop. They actually went up against the major investment banks and beat them at their own game. It's a great story. If you haven't seen it, you should look into it. The reason I bring that up is as an individual, any one of us might not be that strong. But as a member of an organization with a singular point of view and focus and willingness to do the work to get the word out, we can help this company grow and we can be compensated for doing just that. I could give you a lot of information on the comp plan. That's not the purpose of this call. There'll be other calls and we can go over that detail. We can give it to you in writing. But what I want to share with you is why, the vision. Now, the company does have investments in crypto, but they've chosen not to trade crypto. They've chosen not to trade Forex. Forex is the international currency arbitrage market. There's lots of profits in those markets, but they also are extremely volatile and can be very risky. So although they are going to hold assets in that space, and you can make your deposit with all the most popular, well-known cryptos, they've decided to stay focused with where they're skilled, which is trading stocks in the S&P 500. They've amassed somewhere north of $80 million, which is why they can afford to pay us a return on our deposit and pay us bonuses for building out our marketing team. I have started and built many companies, and I can tell you this, our company is only as good as its people, and a good leader gives people thoughts and encouragement and helps them learn and have hopes and aspirations that can be disseminated through the ranks so that we as a group can be a powerful organization to build wealth for ourselves, our families, our friends, and help this company go to the next level. So in a thumbnail sketch, I wanted you to get a chance to meet me. I wanted you to get a chance to know the reason behind the company. Next time, I think starting on Thursday, we'll do a more traditional presentation so that those of you that are bringing guests that want to understand the back end of this office, I have been asked this question. Can we keep track of your trading? We are going to be adding that. We just launched, but we are going to be adding that to the website. So you'll, as a party that decides to deposit with us and or build an organization, you'll be able to see the success that we're having and share in the pleasure of seeing this company grow. Dee, at this point, is there anything you'd like to add before we open it up to questions?
Wow. I just want to say, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me, David, loud and clear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That was very powerful. And yes, I do want to add to that. I want to say that we are definitely in the process of getting everything together. And like I said, this is just an introduction for you guys to be able to meet and feel the CEO. Oh, wait a minute. We have somebody that's, let me mute. Okay. Okay. So we have somebody that is, we have everything that we're getting in place for the main presentation. Excuse me. There's some interruption going on in the back end. So with that being said, I thank you, David, for all the education and knowledge that you've given us. And I want to, since we have Don, I see Don first. I'm going to definitely give a big shout out to him, as well as gathering his leaders from the UK, from all the way from Africa too. He is a wonderful, amazing gentleman. He's done a lot of work in this industry, and I can't speak for him myself, so I'm going to yield him the mic, and so that he can ask the questions that he wants to ask. And also, I'm going to introduce some other powerful leaders here as well. So with that being said, Don, you can take it away.
Thank you very much, Dee. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear. Can you hear you loud and clear?
Yeah, you're an amazing leader, Dee. I'm very excited about this project. First of all, I want to appreciate our CEO. Today, I'm very excited. My name is Don Malachi. I've been in this industry for over a decade now, doing different businesses, growing crypto. I love crypto. I'm a software consultant. So when I hear from the experience of those who have something to offer, I know that. And I can see that from our able CEO. He spoke very intelligently. And this shows me and gives me more confidence from what Dee told me that we're going to have a good run with this company. First of all, I want to thank you, Mr. David, our able CEO, for your insights. And I want to, greatly appreciate my leader, my boss lady, G. Washington, a super lady that I knew over 4 years ago, or 4 to 5 years back in the days we did CFX together, do different things. And people like this, when they call you on the phone and say, Don, I've got something brand new coming up in a few days, 1 or 2 days to get launched, and look at it, and it's going to be nice. I'm like, Dee, is that going to be good? She said, yes. So I took a look at that just like a day to 2 days before, and I saw that this is something that is going to help a lot of Africans, Indians and the rest of the world, grow. Haven't had to see $25 jumping, 5 for $1 withdrawal maximum, so minimum. So I got excited. The next day I jumped on a call with her and she walked me through the stuff, sent me the messages. So here in UK, I told her, I said, I'm going to have to do this. And I think this is something that, if all things being equal, is going to have to help a lot of people become financially free. And when you see one, I know, and they say people buy people. So when Dee told me about that, she's a woman I respect so much in the industry. I have a lot of value for her. So I couldn't have any option than to jump in and say, let's get it going. And today, I was waiting for today with my leaders on the call to hear from the real CEO himself, who is going to be championing this movement. And I'm very excited that I've been able to hear from him this afternoon or evening. And it was a lovely call and I love it. So all I can say is let's get going. I think this is going to be a good one. And the one or two questions that I may want to ask, and I don't know if I can go ahead now, but at least CEO has been able to explain, some different areas where they are trying to generate the money from and how they can be able to carry people along going. So I think I'm going to reserve some of my questions until when the full presentation have been made. But so far, I think I'm excited from what I've seen, ranging from what Dee have said, hearing from the CEO himself. I think this is something that we can get something good out of. Thank you very much, and thank you, the CEO. Thank you, Dee, for this. I want to leave it like this for now.
Absolutely. And can you go over the two questions that you have? Starting with the first question so David can hear you and answer each one of them.
Okay. So my first question, I think everybody's hearing me, and I think it should be on behalf of everybody. This is my personal question. This is just a new company. And from what he has told us, he said they've been there behind the scene, investing in oil and gas, different things. So my question is, I hope and I believe that with this company, our able CEO, how long do you think you can be able to take? How long? I know you're not God, but how long? What is your longevity plan? How long do you want to go with this company with us? Like, that has been our most challenges in Africa and everywhere in the world, company coming in, so we're trying to know how long do you plan to go with this? And secondly is, what is the things put together behind so what can hear it so as to help us keep going in terms of consistent payment without default? So these are two of my key questions for now. Please, you can take it off from there.
David?
So we would put this in the category of financial capability. This company has been founded and started by those that have $80 million invested in these stock portfolios. And the stocks in that portfolio, they're trading to increase the asset value of that portfolio. So some startups are undercapitalized. And I deal with raising capitals for companies internationally. And I look at so many companies that want to start up and they give me their presentation and they have a good business plan, got some good talent in their management team. And I said, okay, so you'd like me to help you grow your capital. That is correct. Well, how much do you have and how much do you need? And over what period of time do you need it? I always ask those three questions. And I can tell you that the vast majority of them don't have any capital. They've got a great idea and they need the money right now. They want someone else to put all the seed or risk capital up for them so that their management team that are talented but not entrepreneurs can get compensated. This company already has answered the first question I always ask when I'm raising funds. How much do you have now? How much do you have now? What's your business plan? And how much do you need? So we're going to start with a company that has $80 million in a stock portfolio, and the dividends and profits out of that are being used to pay those returns on our deposits and to pay our management team as it's built out in these early days. And as we grow and get larger, we will add additional profit structures and additional training and offer additional features to those people that have helped us grow the organization. So in terms of where is the financial world, the world is driven by finance and it's driven by debt. If you really get into the multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar transactions, it's all debt-driven. The purpose of this call is not for me to go into how the wealthy get wealthier and how much money is printed out of thin air. If you saw what I saw, you would say this can't be true, but I can tell you it's amazing what can be done when you have enough wealth. What we want to do as a company is have the individual, just like Reddit has done for the individual, be able to grow as a group. And even though each one of us has a relatively small amount of money that we've deposited with this company, as a group, that grows. And the larger our group grows, the larger our deposit base grows. the larger our deposit base grows, in addition to paying bonuses and dividends out to those people that are helping us grow the company, we can strengthen the company and increase that $80 million to a substantially larger number. And here's what I know in the financial world. As you hit various milestones, $10 million is one milestone in assets. $100 million is another milestone. $1 billion is another milestone. Now, let me tell you something most people don't know. You can access the $1 billion level, even if you're coming in at the $10 million level, by going to aggregators. So what is this firm? We're an aggregator. We're borrowing money from those that want to deposit with us. We're paying them a fee to market and help us get the word out, because we don't have an advertising budget. We can pay it to you, the team, and we're going to take this company into additional areas in which we can hire the talent and expertise. The reason we're not trading Forex, the reason we're not trading crypto, is the owners have decided those areas are too risky as trading vehicles. However, the crypto, they hold as an asset. Stocks have been around for hundreds of years. The S&P 500 has been around for decades, and we're doing the trading in liquid stocks in those large markets. Does that answer your question?
Wow. Mr. David, I must say, it's an excellent response to my questions. I love that. And I think it's a very clear-cut, direct statement showing that these people knows what they're doing behind the scene. So thank you for that answer. The second one is, like I asked before, maybe before I leave it open for the whole public to take it up from there. Secondly is, how long do you have estimated time? I think I know you said you're going to be around for a long time and this and that, because these are things that people need to know. When you are planning an organization, you should be able to have a target. I think, I'm going to run for as long as I can, with this, because it's going to give us a base and plan on how fast and big we are going to build, in the whole world. Because I got to tell you something, when we see something as good as this, we believe in it, we understand it, we leaders, building is not our problem. But challenges in the past has been, when you build for a while, within a short time, you got disappointed. So what is the kind of, within you, kind of, your belief, trust, and the, not really assurance, but like, how long do you think you want to go with this organization with us?
I can tell you that my history has been to pick a position where I have a 1-year goal, a 5-year goal, and a 10-year goal. And during each one of those goal periods, I have financial goals, but you can only hit those financial goals if you have the right people. The first year of this company will be continuing to bring in leaders and talent to help us build an international organization with financial strength. So we've got a great seed capital. It's a lot of money. Most companies don't start up with that, especially when they're reaching out to the individual. I want each person that's on this call to help us find talent to build out this organization. And over the next 10 years, we could end up being part of history. But you first have to get through the first year. So the first year, they've already laid down the basics. Whatever problems come up, we'll deal with them. We'll continue to attract talent. We're always open to ideas. And what I liked about this company, they said, here's what we've done, here's what we've got. And they were willing to listen to my ideas. Sometimes you can work for a big company and they have their ideas and they want you to come in as a soldier and just march to their orders. This company is not like that. They're listeners. And listening companies build huge, powerful, strong organizations because they give people empowerment. Does that answer that question?
Thank you very much. That's excellent. Thank you, I see you. I think I have to drop my cap here. And I doff my cap for you for your intelligence and understanding about business world. With this, I believe and I think that we're going to have to go a long way with this project. Thank you. I drop my case.
Absolutely.
My pleasure.
Don, thanks for those powerful questions. I do see a handout, but I'm going to hold that hand for a moment and I'm going to call out another leader if he's available to speak. I want to call him out. Brandon Rhodes, is it okay if I unmute you? Brandon, are you there? Are you able to speak? Maybe not. Okay. So, anybody that has any questions, let me see here. Anybody that has any more questions, some of the leaders, please put your hands up. Brandon Rhodes, he might not want to speak right now. But Jorge Facade, I'm gonna.
Good afternoon.
Who's
Is that
this?
Queen?
Manny?
Yes. Hi,
Hi,
Queen.
Manny.
How are you?
Great.
My goodness, you're looking younger and younger. Every time I see you, looking younger and younger.
Well,
My
thank
goodness,
you. I
very,
appreciate that.
very nice. It's been a long time. Lovely
Yes.
to be here on this call. Don invited me. We work very closely together on a number of different projects. I just put my camera on. Sorry about that. I'm at home. I like what I'm hearing. Is this gentleman the CEO of the company? I jumped in a bit late.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. David.
He's the CEO. David. Okay. Yeah. I like what I'm hearing from David. Don's been filling me in and kind of giving me a lot of information about the platform. I think we can do a lot of damage in terms of building big teams on this platform. I jumped in late, so I don't want to, hold everybody up and ask lots of questions that have already been answered. But it'd be good to maybe have another conversation with you and maybe David, because, we have big networks that we can bring in. And I just want to be clear on a couple of things before we go to work, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So
We can set
I
that
don't
up.
know. I don't know. Maybe afterwards I can talk with you and Don on a three-way call, and then maybe we can catch up with David before we go to work. But I do like what I'm hearing. Sounds very, very exciting, and looking forward to going to work. Sounds good. Looks very
Absolutely,
good. I
Manny.
like
It's
it.
good to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. We look forward to it. So, Jorge Facade, do you have any questions? I want to call you out.
What's going on, D?
What's going on?
Thanks for putting the call
Now
together.
no problem. Now this amazing gentleman right here, I can tell you, when it comes down to YouTube and instructions and videos, this man knows what he's talking about. And he's very organized man. He is just very powerful within himself. And I just want to just give him, that knowledge. I just want to acknowledge him right now, because I can tell you he's probably one of the most knowledgeable YouTubers that I ever seen, and in person too as well. When we speak, he has the things in order. Everything that he talks about is just amazing. So with that being said, I just want to introduce you, David, to Jorge. He is just a phenomenal gentleman, and I'm sure that he might have some questions here.
Well, D, I appreciate that. That is humbling and very kind to hear. I'm just a humble man trying to do the best I can.
Yes.
So thank you. And for respect of everybody's time, I'm not going to ramble on a lot. But David, what I will ask is, and I'm hoping that the answer is a definite yes. And to give you a shout out, David, I'll say of these kind of calls, you seem more prepared than some of the other CEOs I may have seen speak in some of these sort of Zooms initially.
Yes.
So
Yes.
kudos to you for coming prepared and speaking so eloquently. My question is, we all obviously care and want this to have sustainability, right? Because everybody's kind of tired of starting over from scratch.
Of course.
Have you put time into looking at a lot of the other platforms that have come and gone, the reasons they have failed, and kind of put in place fail safes and contingencies so that you're not going to come to the same outcome?
Yeah. Let me describe what breaks most companies. Two things. It's lack of capital, because with capital, you'll still make mistakes, but you have the financial capability of navigating through those mistakes and keeping your organization running. Secondly, it's the leadership. So if you have founders of an organization that have a very narrow point of view, that believe they know everything, and they're unwilling to learn from others with deep experience, then they will, even with lots of capital, eventually run the company out of business by running talent off and burning through the capital that they have. So that the two things that puts a company out of business. Have you ever heard a company growing to death? You ever heard that before?
Yes.
Okay. So what happens when a company grows to death is they don't have the infrastructure and they put on too much, too fast, and the infrastructure crumbles around itself. So we've got a good start on a good infrastructure. We are continuing to grow and build out that infrastructure. And in speaking with the founders, I found them very receptive to listening to ideas that they didn't come up with themselves. And I got to tell you, that is unusual in a founding organization. And it's unusual for a company to start up with the amount of seed capital that they brought to the table on their own, not raising from third parties.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. And like I said, I want to be respectful of everybody's time, so I'm not going to go on too much. I'm excited to see how this all unfolds. And thanks again for showing up here today and providing us with this time and opportunity.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I might also say my style of management is to do strategic planning calls with key people so that we as a group can disseminate our strength. We're stronger as a group, and there are those of us that can articulate better than others. So if we help one another understand what the field needs, then we can deliver to them what's required for them to be successful, for them to want to stick with us, for them to push through disappointments and still come out the other side. That's our obligation. And I reach out to everyone on this call that's a leader, that you join together with the company and with me and with Dee and help us all bring out the strengths in one another to be a better organization that fosters success of those that come in and want to be part of us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So now we got two hands up, and I'm gonna unmute Peter Priest. Peter Priest, I yield the mic to you. And Jorge, that was an amazing question. David, amazing answer. So
All right. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. Thank you so much, the Queen. I celebrate you.
Thank you.
And I celebrate the CEO right there. He's an amazing leader. I can see the genuineness in him. I can see the passion. I can see the drive, and I can see the tenacity to push this company to the next level. All right. I'll make this very brief and very short so that others too can ask. We want the progress of this company. We want to work with David. We want to take this company to the next level, just like I did for so many big tech companies and crypto companies and blockchain, because I've pioneered and I've been part of the country rep here in Nigeria and in Africa, and I've helped move a lot of companies, give them the growth. Now, the advice I normally give to most companies is, in terms of sustainability, is to look into the area of blockchain and see how you can inculcate the blockchain into your own business. That way, we are talking about sustainability, we're talking about longevity, and so on. So, Mr. Davis, I put this to you. You can, as well, in the long run, moving forward, add the blockchain into your system. And that way, I think we are talking about sustainability. Because when you talk about the blockchain, it's one of the biggest industry. I think it's ahead of oil and gas right now in the global space. So you can look into this and see how you can inculcate it into your system. And let's see how we can together, hold hands together, build this together and take this to where you want it to be and build it all over the globe. Thank you very much.
Let me ask you a quick question about that. Are you thinking that investments in companies that are providing blockchain technology might be something that we could add to our investment portfolio? One, and then two, we could use a blockchain accounting system to track and keep everyone informed of what it is that we're doing and protect all of us and our resources and our capital going forward.
Yes. Secondly, you can create a coin, add it to your ecosystem.
So a proprietary coin, our own
Sustaining
currency.
the business and not to follow crowd. Other companies have come and gone due to capital. So we talked about capital, and this is a road I think you should look into in terms of inculcating your system into the blockchain.
Well, I like that idea. I certainly will bring that to the owners. I'm sure they're familiar with it. They're very innovative. They're both conservative and aggressive, if you can imagine the combination of those two. So they want to make sure they protect the company's capital. They want to invest wisely so that there are profits that they can give to us, the organization, for helping them build this company out. So I appreciate your input. We will have those discussions.
And we do appreciate your input, but you know how it is when the companies start tokens. So we do again know that cash is more valuable. We want the cash, not the tokens. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah, so thank you for your time.
Well, let's say less risky, right? It's less risky.
Less risky, yes. So thank you for your time. Coach Wealth, Prince, let's go. I yield the mic over to you.
Thank you, Queen D. Thank you,
Absolutely.
David. Thank you, Dawn. Dawn has been filling me in with activities and the ongoings right from the day before the launch, and telling me how you and himself have been discussing vaccine and communicating with David. And I want to say very, very big thank you to you guys for the amazing work you guys have done in the background to bring this up to us in the open space. And talking about getting the talents and the right people, the right personality to build a team and to build the organization to global standard, and talking about solidity and strength. I want to assure you, David, that we are spot on that. We ain't going to back down on that. That's one. And secondly, I want to ask a very simple but slick question that has to do with the sustainability. Going to the technical department or technical area, you said the owners are very innovative. Yes, I can see that from the activities that have gone on in the last 48 hours with the website and all they've been trying to do, putting in the Cloudflare protection and all that. It wasn't there from the first day I signed up. There was no Cloudflare. I could see Cloudflare coming in the last 48 hours, and that was smart, real smart work, and I appreciate that a lot. And if I understand correctly, in your capacity, David, standing in as the CEO doesn't represent you as the founder from your several references on your speech. Am I correct?
That is correct. I am not a founder. They have done the same thing I've done with companies I built and founded. I found the company. I have my original talent. As I grow and have the financial capabilities, then I can hire other layers of talent with expertise that at the beginning, I couldn't afford to hire them. So the more I made, the more I invested in people.
Oh, great. All right. So that being said, I really appreciate you for putting yourself in that position, because it's not easy to anchor that kind of position for an organization that wants to build massively. And I know that's going to be a whole lot of loads on your shoulders. And if we, looking at your genuinity and your sincerity, the transparency in your communication alone would want me yield my entirety of passion to building with you. All right. So I want to say thank you again to Queen D for this connection. My last question goes to the technical area that has to do with the structure in terms of sustainability and looking at the 1 year, 5 years, 10 years goals. First of all, we'll focus on the first 1 year and looking at the structure, the infrastructure of the website, the way it is built, and the technical details behind. Can you delve into the technical aspect a little bit, if not all, at least give us a light picture of it, what has been put in place to secure that the website, the business itself, the business model, from regulators and from hacks, from phishing and all of that. Can you give us a little light on that?
I've not had the opportunity to have those specific discussions with the owners. You have already indicated something to me that I wouldn't have been aware of because it's happened in the time before I came here, which was the addition of that piece of security that you mentioned. Web presence and web security, as you know, it sounds like your knowledge, it's an endless process. So you never get to a point where you're done because the hackers are always. I'm an older guy, so I remember when radar detectors came out, where people didn't want to get speeding tickets, and so they'd come out with radar detectors. The police would see that, and then they'd come out with a new kind of radar that the detector didn't read, and then people would buy another. It just was a battle. It went back and forth. It's the same way in the hacking world. So I know we're committed to security, and when someone brings something to our attention that we weren't aware of, we're going to spend the time, energy, and money to protect all of us by doing so. So if you look at short term, I'm already aware of because we talked about it, being able to see the trading activity that we have as a company. So you can see the profits that we're making so that someone can understand how we can afford to pay what we're paying.
Okay. My last question. Sorry if I'm not bothering too much. My last question is in terms of also holding capacity of the infrastructure in terms of volume of the team, the strength, the size of the team going forward. Because looking at the first 1 year, with the small entry point of $25, it'll be easier to get the on-field guys coming in, and it will be also very easy to grow the numbers globally to any size. So my question now boils down to the aspect of, say, for example, we hit 1.5 million members in the next 6 months because of the accessibility of the platform. Does the infrastructure being put in place right now, will it be able to sustain us? And before we look at expansion, and will that alter our movement progressively?
I haven't been involved in those conversations in the short time that I've been here, but those are important conversations to have. The first thing that I did is take what I already know and then research the company, talk with the owners about how they got to where they are, found out the things that I would need to know if I were somebody going to be employed at a company. And if you're going to put deposits with a company, you want to know the same thing, right? Is my money safe? Am I going to get a yield? And even more important, set the yield aside. Can I get my money back, right? Because an incredible yield is meaningless if your money disappears, right?
Of course.
So it's important for us to make sure that the compensation we're paying out can be afforded by the company. And the reason that they've decided to pay aggressively is to build the ranks quickly, even if they dip into their reserves to do it. That's how you invest in your future. Example, a major television ad campaign. I've done those in the past with other companies. You spend a lot of money with no guarantee that that money spent will turn into a dollar earned, at least not immediately, right? So you have to have the reserves to invest in getting the name out. We've decided to invest those reserves in you, your team, and the groups to encourage them to get earnings now, not say, hey, come with us and work for nothing. And then when we get more successful, we'll pay you. There are deals like that. This is not one. We're saying we'll dig in our pocket. We'll pay you out of stuff we made before we met you to bring you here with us, make you want to stay with us and help you grow your income as we grow this company. And of course, it's our goal not to continue to pay out of reserves, right? That's a formula for not being around long term, but to grow our capital base so that the reserves we spent was an investment in our future to make even the larger asset base so that we've grown the strength of the company, which gives us what? Not only short-term returns, but it gives us the ability to stay here long term and continue to get returns that go on into the future.
Wow. Thank you so much. Intelligent answer. And that covers a whole other areas as well. I really appreciate you, David, for your time and for putting in this energy, for putting in this intelligence into work. And we'll see how we work together as a team to build together. Queen D, thank you a lot.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
I want to say
David,
something.
that was some powerful answers you answered. So we got one more hand raised, and I think we're going to cut this short and simple after this hand. Mr. Crypto Pay Me Daily. What's up, man? I yield the mic to you.
What's going on? How you doing?
Good, good.
Yeah, quick question. Great job as well on the call, hosting it and everything. I'll be
Thank
real
you.
quick. My question is basically, I've been in this space a while, and I'm sure a lot of people on the call have as well. And, I've probably literally been a part of 100 different promise to pay opportunities. And what typically happens with 99+% of them is that they at some point stop and fail on their promises. And so my question is, what makes this opportunity different from any of the other promise to pays? Number one, once we relinquish our capital, our crypto, and we give it to a company, it is no longer ours, and we're at the risk and, of trusting the company that they're going to do as they say. And so what makes this company different from any of the others? And the last question is, as you grow, and more, people come into this opportunity, what do you see as far as regulation coming into play to affect the growth? Because it's enough people start making enough money, eyes will look over this way. And then you got to deal with some of these 3-letter agencies that like to come in and, try to shut you down because you're not compliant or you're not, licensed or regulated to do the things that you're doing for the members. So that's my 2 questions.
Regarding regulatory agencies, and you are correct, you have to get to a certain size almost no matter what you're doing, because what most people don't know about regulators, they're politicians too. And the only reason they pursue somebody is you've gotten to a size where you're big enough where they're going to put a flower in their lapel if they knock you off your horse. So we have on our side the fact that this industry, the finance industry, is so huge and regulators are technically understaffed for the problem, that as long as we continue to invest in those compliance specialists to keep us abreast of laws as they change and looking at examples of other companies that have had problems, and that we take those examples and change our compliance properties. For example, you'll notice I didn't talk about investing in this company. We're not selling investments. We're not in the investment business. What we're doing is paying a yield on deposits, which is someone loaning us money, and we're paying them a higher yield. Why are we paying higher yields? Because we're not Wells Fargo and Bank of America. Wells Fargo and Bank of America can pay you nothing on your checking account, and they can pay you 5.25% on a 1-year CD or a 2-year CD. So what's the difference between them and us? They're huge. They're established. They're dealing with all the regulatory issues because they're so big and they got an entire staff to do that. We have to do what little growing companies do. We have to say, how much can we afford to pay to not put the company at risk and entice people to come with us and be willing to invest with us instead of Wells Fargo. So if you put $100,000 in Wells Fargo at 5.25%, I don't think anyone thinks that a year from now you go to Wells Fargo and they'd say your money's not there, right? That's just not something that would happen. When you're with a smaller company, what you brought up is exactly correct. Other companies have started, other companies have taken investments, and other companies have gone out of business. And we're going to stick with those companies that were honest. We all know in any space there's people that aren't honest. That's not the purpose of this conversation. The purpose of this conversation is to explain how we structured our comp plan. We looked at the capital we have. We looked at what we believe our growth will be. And then we looked at the most we could pay out without risking putting the company out of business financially. Now, having said that, as we grow a year from now, will we have to pay these same yields to people to put deposits with us? I would say probably not. If it's 5 years from now, would we have to pay the same yields we were in the first year? Probably not. After 10 years, probably not. Why? Because we've become established. Our reputation has gone out in front of us, and people would be willing to put deposits with us for a smaller return because we'd be perceived as less risk. Does that answer that question?
Absolutely. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And I would have said is, Thank you, Mr. Crypto Pay Me Now. Thank you, Coach Walt. Thank you, all the people that have asked questions. I just want to add one thing here. All of us are leaders and we've been in this industry for a long time. Personally, I've been in this industry for over a decade. So when I see people that have a broad knowledge background of what they do, I know, no matter what it is, I think we have found a CEO who can represent this company anywhere in the world in terms of, I enjoy your intellectual, capability to explain things to people, because sometimes, even as we move and as we progress in presentation about finance, crypto, how the money works in the world, it helps a lot of people to build and have confidence in what we do. In the time past also, I've seen companies that have stayed for, people are building as we speak, putting in millions of dollars into the companies, and no CEO has even come to speak with anybody. So I must applaud this company first to have taken a bold step from the first day, bringing up a CEO who is very intelligent and knowledgeable enough to study the comp plan, revamp the whole thing, put them together and say, boom, guys, let's go and push it to the market. And this is what is going to be very sustainable. So personally, I'm very excited. I'm very impressed. And I believe that everybody who has been in the crypto space, hearing the tone of our voice, should be excited, because at least hearing from the CEO has given me a full, joy and belief that at least we have a man capable of taking us for a long time. I know sometimes the reason why most companies fail also as well is because you don't have a good, CEOs, people that listen to you. And like he rightly said, that these people listen to him. Like I communicate with them, show them plan, see how to do it better, and things keep on going. Oh my God, I must say that I'm very excited with this call tonight. And I believe, and CEO, I want you to keep on coming on the call with us, as we're just starting today. Today is not just a call, it's like a preamble of what is going to come. So constantly we'll be on this call as much as frequent as possible, so we can make all these things happen together. I appreciate you and I appreciate all the people that have asked on this call. I'm very excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Don, for the speech. And yeah, David, you really, really answered a whole bunch of questions, and that's what is much needed in the space, to be clear on what we're doing here. So with that being said, David, I really want to appreciate your time, and I look forward to our call this Thursday. And also we're going to get together with certain private leaders if they need special calls and everything, and we'll go over the details and everything. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the ground floor of an amazing journey, and I want to say thank you again, and make sure that you get back to the person that invited you here, and let's grow. We have something powerful here. As you can see, David had answered pretty much a lot of questions, and that's what was needed to be on this call today. So with that being said, stay tuned, and we'll talk again soon.
Signing off. Thank you very much.
Signing off. All right.